Welcome to Security Brief for Week 18. Before we start, make sure you are subscribed for future content. In our first news story, a startling revelation. The debt collection agency Financial Business and Consumer Solutions, commonly known as FBCS, has announced a data breach impacting nearly 2 million individuals. The breach was first discovered on February 26, 2024, when unauthorized access to certain systems in the FBCS network was detected. Investigations have uncovered that the breach occurred between February 14th and February 26th, allowing the intruder to view or possibly exfiltrate sensitive information. Compromised data may include names, dates of birth, social security numbers, and account information. FBCS has begun notifying affected individuals and is offering 12 months of free credit monitoring services. The company has taken steps to secure the impacted environment and is working with third-party computer forensics specialists to prevent future incidents. Next story, in a significant move to safeguard its users, Google has taken a firm stand against security threats by rejecting a staggering 2.28 million Android apps from the Play Store in 2023. These apps were found to violate Google's stringent policies, posing potential risks to user security and privacy. This proactive measure by Google reflects its ongoing commitment to providing a secure digital environment for all. Moving on, the FBI has issued a warning about a deceptive new trend targeting users of online dating platforms. The perpetrators are fraudsters operating on dating apps, luring unsuspecting victims into costly verification schemes. These schemes involve fake verification services that promise to protect users from predators but instead lead to expensive, recurring subscription charges. The FBI's public service announcement was made recently as these fraudulent activities have been on the rise. This scam is widespread, affecting users across various dating platforms on the internet. The motive behind these schemes is to defraud victims of their money through recurring charges and to potentially steal personal information for identity theft or other malicious activities. Next story, Change Healthcare, a subsidiary of United Health, has been the victim of a significant cyber attack. The perpetrators are the Black Cat ransomware gang, who used stolen credentials to breach the company's security. The breach was discovered and disclosed by United Health Group on March 13th. This breach has had widespread effects, impacting Change Healthcare's medical claims and payment processing platform, causing disruptions for more than a month. The motive behind these attacks is typically to exfiltrate data for malicious purposes and to demand a ransom for the stolen data. Moving on, a new Android backdoor malware named Wpeeper has been spotted in at least 2 unofficial app stores. The perpetrators are unknown at this time, but they have managed to infect thousands of devices. With this new malware, Wpeeper is a new Android backdoor malware that uses compromised WordPress sites to act as relays for its actual command and control C2 servers. This novel use of compromised sites acts as an evasion mechanism. The Android malware was discovered on April 18, 2024. The analysts report that the activity ceased abruptly on April 22nd. This malware has been found in at least 2 unofficial app stores mimicking the Up-to-Down App Store, a popular third-party app store for Android devices with over 220 million downloads. The motive behind these attacks is typically to exfiltrate data for malicious purposes. Wpeeper's primary functionality revolves around stealing data, facilitated by its extensive set of commands featuring 13 distinct functions. In related news, Google has significantly increased its rewards for reporting remote code execution vulnerabilities within select Android apps. This change affects security researchers worldwide who are part of Google's Mobile Vulnerability Rewards program. The increase is up by 10 times, from $30,000 to $300,000, with the maximum reward reaching $450,000 for exceptional quality reports. This change was announced on April 30, 2024. This applies to select Android apps, including Google Play services, the Android Google Search app, AGSA, Google Cloud, and Gmail. The motive behind this increase is to incentivize security researchers to focus on finding and reporting high-impact vulnerabilities, thereby improving the security of Google's Android apps. Next story, the Philadelphia Inquirer, one of the largest newspapers in the U.S., has disclosed a significant security breach that occurred in May 2023. The perpetrators behind this breach are currently unknown. However, the Cuba ransomware gang claimed responsibility for the attack. The attackers managed to steal the personal and financial information of 25,549 individuals. The information exposed during the breach included the impacted individuals' names and other personal identifiers in combination with financial account numbers or credit debit card numbers. The breach was discovered and disclosed by the Philadelphia Inquirer in May 2023. This breach has had widespread effects, impacting the Philadelphia Inquirer's internal information systems. A motive behind these attacks is typically to exfiltrate data for malicious purposes. The Cuba ransomware gang collected over $60 million in ransoms until August 2022, after breaching more than 100 victims worldwide. Next story, a new malware named Latrodectus is now being distributed in phishing campaigns using Microsoft, Azure, and Cloudflare lures to appear legitimate. The perpetrators behind this attack are currently unknown. However, researchers have linked the malware to the developers of the widely distributed iced-ID modular malware loader. Latrodectus, also known as Unidentified 111 in IceNova, is an increasingly distributed Windows malware downloader that acts as a backdoor, downloading additional exe and DLL payloads or executing commands. The latest campaign utilizes a fake Cloudflare CAPTCHA to evade security software. The malware was discovered on April 30th, 2024. This malware has been found in phishing campaigns and contact form spam to gain initial access to corporate networks. It uses reply chain phishing emails with PDFs or URLs to infiltrate systems. The malware is increasingly being used in phishing campaigns. Moving on, the cybersecurity researchers at Lumen Technologies' Black Lotus Labs. They have discovered a new malware named Cuttlefish. The malware has been active since at least July 2023. The malware is currently running an active campaign concentrated in Turkey, with a few infections elsewhere impacting satellite phone and data center services. The Cuttlefish malware infects enterprise-grade and small office/home office (SOHO) routers to monitor data that passes through them and steal authentication information. It creates a proxy or VPN tunnel on the compromised router to exfiltrate data discreetly while bypassing security measures that detect unusual sign-ins. The malware can also perform DNS and HTTP hijacking within private IP spaces, interfering with internal communications and possibly introducing more payloads. The method for the initial infection of the routers has yet to be determined, but it could involve exploiting known vulnerabilities or brute-forcing credentials. Once access is gained to a router, a bash script is deployed and begins collecting host-based data, including details on directory listing, running processes, and active connections. The script downloads and executes the primary Cuttlefish payload, which is loaded into memory to evade detection, while the downloaded file is wiped from the file system. Upon execution, Cuttlefish uses a packet filter to monitor all connections through the device, and when it detects specific data, it performs particular actions based on rule sets that are regularly updated from the attacker's command and control server. The malware passively sniffs packets searching for credential markers within the traffic, such as usernames, passwords, and tokens especially associated with public cloud-based services like AllaCloud, AWS, DigitalOcean, Cloudflare, and Bitbucket. Next, we have an update on the Hôpital de Caen Simone Veil, CHC-SV, in France, which has announced that it received a ransom demand from the LockBit 3.0 ransomware gang, but has refused to pay. The hospital was the subject of a cyber attack on April 16, 2024, which was reported on this channel. The LockBit ransomware group claimed responsibility for the attack and demanded a ransom. The attack led to the disruption of nearly 30% of non-urgent surgeries and a return to paper and pen recording of patient charts. The motive behind these attacks is typically to exfiltrate data for malicious purposes. The hospital has stated that public health establishments never pay ransom in the face of this type of attack. Next story, the Panda Restaurant Group, the parent company of Panda Express, Panda Inn, and Hibachi-san, has disclosed a data breach after attackers compromised its corporate systems in March. The perpetrators behind this attack are currently unknown. However, the company discovered a data security breach on March 10, 2024. The attackers managed to steal the personal information of an undisclosed number of individuals. The information exposed during the breach included the impacted individuals' names and other personal identifiers in combination with financial account numbers or credit debit card numbers. The company continues to work with law enforcement who are conducting an active investigation into the unauthorized actor responsible for this incident. DropBox, the cloud storage firm, has reported a significant security breach in its eSignature platform, DropBox Sign. The attackers managed to breach production systems for DropBox Sign and gained access to authentication tokens, MFA keys, hashed passwords, and customer information. The company detected unauthorized access to DropBox Sign's production systems on April 24th. This breach has had widespread effects, impacting DropBox Sign, an eSignature platform allowing customers to send documents online to receive legally binding signatures. For those users who used the eSignature platform but did not register an account, their email addresses and names were also exposed. Moving on, a user of Mullvad VPN has discovered a bug in Android devices. This bug causes DNS queries to leak when switching VPN servers, even when the always-on VPN feature is enabled with the block connections without VPN option. The issue was spotted on April 22nd, and the news was reported by Sergiu Gatlin on May 3, 2024. This is a software issue, so it's not tied to a specific physical location. However, it affects Android devices globally. All Android users are potentially affected, especially those using VPN services. The bug is present even in the latest OS version, Android 14. The bug occurs while using apps that make direct calls to the getAddrInfo function, which provides protocol-independent translation from a text host name to an IP address. Android leaks DNS traffic when a VPN is active, but no DNS server has been configured, or when a VPN app reconfigures the tunnel, crashes, or is forced to stop. DNS traffic leaks present a significant risk to user privacy, potentially exposing their approximate locations and the online platforms they engage with. Until Google resolves the bug and backports the patch to older Android versions, users may want to stop using Android devices for sensitive activities or implement additional safeguards to mitigate the risk of such leaks. Moving to the last story. Onur Aksoy, the CEO of a group of companies controlling multiple online storefronts, has been sentenced to 6.5 years in prison for selling counterfeit Cisco network equipment to government, health, education, and military organizations worldwide. He was arrested in Miami on June 29, 2022. Aksoy was involved in selling $100 million worth of counterfeit Cisco network equipment. These devices all had counterfeit Cisco labels, stickers, boxes, documentation, and packaging, all bearing counterfeit trademarks registered and owned by Cisco that made the goods falsely appear to be new, genuine, and high-quality devices. Aksoy was sentenced to 6 years and 6 months in prison for running this scheme and profiting millions on May 2, 2024. The counterfeit Cisco products were sold as new and genuine devices on Amazon and eBay to customers in the United States and overseas. Aksoy personally made millions of dollars, which is unsurprising as the margins on selling garbage for the price of high-end networking devices must be quite good. That was all. Thanks for watching this week's Security Brief. Make sure to share and subscribe for more. See you soon.